Welcome, everyone. So this is session one of the MCRC conference. I'm Don Barry, a member of the MCRC committee and professor of geology here at San Diego Mesa College. So we have, this is session one. I might have already said that. we have three talks planned this morning. And the first talk that we'll go ahead and start right now is Ocean and Pana scale correctional meta-analysis. And so David, is your team ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Okay, feel free to share your screen and take it away. So 10 minutes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming to this presentation on Ocean and Pana scale correlational meta-analysis. My name is David Tzu-Chien. Before we start, please take a moment to scan the QR code in the top left corner if you'd like to have a copy of the slide and go along with us. We'll first have an overview of our study is about. This study looked at the relationship between the Big Five Ocean Personality Scale, which stands for openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, and positive and negative affect schedule, PANAS. Predictions of correlation were made. To test these predictions, we put research articles that use both the PANAS scale and Ocean to conduct a meta-analysis. Articles that were too old or not peer-reviewed were not included. In addition, we analyzed potential moderators. The results showed a median level of correlation between the items in Ocean and PANAS, and the implications of these findings will be discussed at the end of the presentation. Now, I'll discuss the study in more detail. This study aims to understand the relationship between the Ocean inventory and PANAS. To give you brief background information, the Ocean inventory is commonly used in the industry by IO psychologists, while PANAS was used to measure a person's level of emotional expression. We hypothesized that openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness were positively correlated with positive affect and inversely with negative affect, where neuroticism is predicted to be inversely correlated with positive affect and positively with negative affect. Next, I'll present to you the method we use to conduct this study. 11 articles were selected and examined to identify Ocean and PANAS correlation and find patterns between existing data. We extracted values where Ocean is correlated with PANAS and calculated effect size with Fisher's transformation and overall significance for test result with Stouffer's method. The total number of participants included in the study is 7,782, ranging from 16 to 93 years old from various geographical regions. The results section is divided into three parts. First, we'll look at the overall result of the analysis. Then we'll look at the result between each trait and affect. And last, we'll go over our finding on the moderator. Here in table 1, we can see 48 pairs are examined from the 11 articles. And to clarify, one pair is made of one trait and one affect. So for example, the trait openness and the affect positive affect would be one pair. Half of the pairs were predicted to be positively correlated and half of the pairs to be inversely correlated. The overall results supported the hypothesis with a moderate correlation. Ocean traits show greater correlation with the PANAS when predicted to be positively correlated than when they are predicted to be inversely correlated. On the right column, we can see there's a number said the failsafe n, which stands for the number of insignificant cases that needs to be included in the study in order for our result to become null, to be insignificant. So the higher the failsafe n, the stronger is our result. Next, we see in this figure 1, the visualization of the same data as last slide. Moving on to the relationship between individual trait and affect. In figure 2, we can see that Ocean traits are on the x-axis and the Pearson R effect size are on the y-axis. Openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, and agreeableness correlated positively with positive affect, as indicated by the dark blue bars, and inversely with negative affect, as indicated by the light blue bars. These findings supported hypothesis 1 through 4. Neuroticism, on the other hand, correlated inversely with positive affect and positively with negative affect across studies. This finding supported hypothesis 5. The largest correlation in this part of the analysis is that openness, conscientiousness, and extraversion has a medium correlational strength with positive affect, and neuroticism showed a medium correlational strength with negative affect as well. Here are the detailed numbers of the same result we just saw. It is important to note that the number of items examined are different for different traits. Neuroticism is included in many studies, while openness was included in only one. The number of items examined would affect the strength of the result. So we can see that the openness has a lower fail-safe end than neuroticism do, due to the weaker strength. In this study, we look at 3 potential moderators: age, gender, and geographical region. The type of tests were conducted depends on the nature of the moderator. Age as a moderator did not show any significant effect on the strength of correlation between trait and affect. When it comes to gender, the proportion of female participants in the study was positively correlated with the strength of correlation, which means the higher the proportion of female in the study, the stronger is the effect. Gender as a moderator has a medium effect. Last, looking at regions, there was a significant difference in the strength of correlation when it compared to studies conducted in Asia and those conducted in the United States. Overall, studies conducted in Asia showed an overall greater correlation. Now, I'll discuss what our findings mean. This research focused on the correlation between PANAS and ocean, and found statistically significant correlations between the ocean personality traits and affect, confirming our hypothesis. These findings suggested that the core aspect of human personality have interdependence on each other that should be explored further. Moderators such as gender and geographical region showed a significant effect on correlational strength. However, more data and evidence were needed to draw a conclusion from this finding. The strength of this study is a diversity of participants. Various articles came from countries other than the United States, and participants are different age range from 16 to 93 were covered across studies, increasing the external validity of our result. On the other hand, our limitation in studying the correlation between openness and positive and negative affect was limited, because openness was only considered in one article. Our suggestion for future research is that studies can look at why neuroticism has a stronger relationship with negative affect than other traits do, and why neuroticism has a stronger correlation with negative affect than with positive affect. Further research can help give context to this relationship. Studies can also further explore the correlation between personality traits and affect by analyzing the facet of each personality trait and their specific relationship to affect. This can help answer what components of the trait ties to affect. In addition, future researchers can examine the role of moderators on ocean scale and PANAS separately, as well as the correlational strength between those two scales in details. If you'd like to see the reference, please scan the QR code in the top left corner to get a copy of the poster slides. And last, we want to acknowledge our advisor, Professor Justin Estep, Jay Van Kirk, Helen Greenberg, as well as San Diego Mesa College Psi Beta. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy our presentation and research.
Very good. Thanks very much, David. Okay, well, I'll just kind of open the floor to judges. Let's see how it goes, folks. If you want to use the blue hand raise feature, go ahead, or if you just want to jump in with a question, that's probably okay too. Looks like we have a question from Mary. Go ahead, Mary.
Okay, thanks. So David, let me tell you, I'm a philosopher and I always ask the why questions, okay? So
Yes.
if you can't answer this, it's okay. I know this is, science and, but I'm asking you, why do you think it is that there is the gender makes a difference regarding the correlation?
Okay, yes. So when we're conducting the studies, we found that most of the studies are actually female skewed. So in most of the research articles, there are actually more female participants than male participants do. And in terms of why we have this significant difference between gender, we do not have a tested hypothesis on this, but my personal speculation would be that female are more tolerated to express their emotional expression than males do. In some cases, such as expressing neuroticism or negative affect, which included emotions such as scared, stressed. In our culture, sometimes male are not expected to express those feelings outwardly, but to save them for themselves. So in those studies, I would hypothesize that female are more willing to show that they're negative or positive affect. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Anyone else among the other judges?
I have a question, if I can.
Please go ahead, Erin.
So I am also not in psychology. I do sociology, and so I am not familiar with Tzu-Chien as a personality test and how it is distinct from other personality tests. And I was just hoping that you could explain explain Tzu-Chien a little bit more for folks like me.
Okay. Yes. So Tzu-Chien is also called the Big Five, and it's one of the most commonly used and recognized by psychologists in the area. And what Tzu-Chien is assessing is this 5 traits that appear in nearly all persons. So every person has some sort of each of the 5 traits. And maybe I can go over a little bit about what each trait stands for. So openness in the first letter, O, stands for your personal, how likely or how willing are you open to new experience, such as trying out a new hobby, trying out a new field of study, looking into something new. So that's the openness. And it's not to say that it's always good to be more open to new things. Anything on the extremes would not be very well. And conscientiousness, hold on, I'm a bit lacking. Conscientiousness is, maybe I should skip and I come back when I remember what conscientiousness means. My head is a little bit freezing right now, but extraversion is something that we heard of. It is how you are likely to gain your energy from. Are you more comfortable being with people outside the world, or are you more comfortable being alone? Agreeableness is how you are showing your how likely you are to raise opposition stance to other people when they have their stand. So like, are you willing to be in a conflict or argument with other people, or you are not so likely to do that? And neuroticism is how likely you are going to be frustrated, to have anxiety, and to have other, what we know as negative thoughts. And, oh yeah, yes. Conscientiousness, as far as I understand, stands for orderliness, how tidy you are, whether or not you are very organized or you are more laid back, to have things to happen on their own, in opposed to you want everything under your control. I think that's what conscientiousness means. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email me and I'll get back to you with more concise answers.
Very good. So, Christina, I apologize. We'll certainly come back to you in the session at the end. I see you have a question. Just want to try to keep to the schedule here. So, thank you again, David. So we